Howdy, everybody. Once again, we're coming to you from somewhere in the middle of nowhere. And today, in the middle of nowhere, we've been working. Man, can't wait to get done with this thing. Look at there, man. When we left off, we were going to put our hips in. Got the hips in. Look at that. Got all four corners done, boy. Everything worked out just about perfect. And after that, wasn't a lot left but to put the windows in. So we got our windows in. And door. And everything fit like it was supposed to. We're glad about that. Got everything nailed up. And screwed on. And then, man, I went ahead and started running some tar paper. Look at that, man. So you always want to put your windows against the framing. It doesn't go on the outside of your plywood. Well, it probably shouldn't unless the engineer knows better. Sometimes it's kind of like that, but if you nail your windows to your framing, and then you put your plywood can cover your flashing on the window. That way, there's no possible way that your window's gonna pop out if it's if it's covered in plywood. So that's kind of a cool thing. And you can finish trimming it out however you want to on top of the plywood. Or man, it gets plywood and then it gets siding and then it gets everything. Well, this doesn't. That's for home building, anyways. So, anyways, yeah, man, it's always a great idea to windows go to the framing. And, it's just everything just gets more and more structural as you go. But this time, our plywood is our siding. Maybe I can demonstrate that. Here's a piece of scrap. And this stuff's already pre-painted or whatever. I don't know if it's paint or primer. However, man, once you nail this onto your framing and you bring it down to your window and you nail it, you can even nail it through your flange. And that way, with your tar paper hanging over your window lids, as we did here. So there's your window ledge up in there. There's a screw. Tar paper comes down and covers that. And I will go so far as to tape this to the window before I put my plywood. And that's just going to ensure that this window is never, ever going to leak. And you would do the same for your house also. You would always want to try and tape your tar paper to your window the best you can. It's just one extra layer of defense. And then when you're siding, or a lot of guys will trim the window before you put the siding. That works real well too. Still, you've got your trim you know, man, nailed over your plywood and your window and all that stuff, man, and the tar paper and the tape and all the things, your window's never ever gonna leak. And so, and I want to put the siding on before the roof. You see, we've got our rafters up there, and I want my siding to go up to the rafter. That little rafter head sticking up there, and that way I can nail this plywood to that rafter, and then that'll keep that rafter from ever moving. Kind of works as a hurricane tie in itself. And oh man, I can over engineer some silliness, but that way when I get this plywood nailed up there and everything's all nice and where I want it, then I can put the roof plywood up there, and it can come over, it can just barely hang over the plywood on the wall. And that way you're not going to get any water dripping off your roof and running down behind and into your wall. So whatever. So next I've got some scrap pieces of tar paper that I've cut off the edges. And, these pieces right here, I mean, they're going to be good enough, man. I can hang them. It's all flimsy, it's hard to say, but there's your rafter again. And if we get that up there with the rafter, well, then it covers the top of the last piece. And so, yeah, man, I'm going to have this thing, this thing's going to be so sealed that, man, if you got your hunting buddy in there, one of you's got gas, you're both going to suffer. Either that or, you don't open windows in this thing, you damn near may run out of oxygen. And no, that's probably not really possible, but I want this thing tight, and I don't ever want it to leak. I don't want this man to ever call me up and go, hey, you know, man, you may have to come out. I found a leak, and can you fix it? And, you know, man, that might be 2 years down the line. But I don't want to, nobody's gonna call me and say my window's leaking. And if it is, that's got something to do with the window and not me. Anyways, guys, yeah, man, it's another progress update. We're getting there. Give y'all one last look, boy. Coming along just fine. I'm happy. I'm sure the customer is going to be happy. I can send him some pictures this evening and show him some of the progress. Yeah, man, this is tomorrow Sunday, and I can do it all again. And yeah, man, we'll see how far we can get tomorrow. Maybe I'll have some siding up, and that'll be exciting. Because, man, after I get that, I gotta get the plywood on the top, and then I gotta get some tar paper over that, and then down the sides again. And so that'll be explained, you know, while I'm doing it. And man, I'll have the siding, and then all I gotta do is just put the tin on it and a couple corners, trim, and this thing can leave the property again, and somebody can go enjoy and go hunting for themselves. So, anyways, everybody, love you. Have a great night, and see y'all soon. Night, y'all.